Utah Mike, how's it going? The Bud Files. Please leave a like to support the channel. Thank you, Utah Mike. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a cup of coffee. Folgers. Lots of stuff to talk about this evening. Lots of stuff to talk about. Enrique Trevino. Thank you, Enrique. Well, we had about an inch earlier in the week. Missed a couple of days of school because of it. Butter Roll Boutique, hello. I gave Butter Roll a shout out earlier in the week when I was doing shout outs. And if you are not connected with Butter Roll Boutique, you need to. A good channel to be connected to. Or I should say excellent. Not the easiest to spell, though. I'm writing down the list of who's here. So you should be receiving, or maybe already received, your tax documents. One of the tax documents we don't think about when you're getting ready to do your taxes, and I don't do tax returns. Well, I do my daughter's tax return, and that's about it, because it's very simple to do hers. And I won't be doing it after this year because she's married now. So she'll be married filing jointly, and then I'll recommend that she basically go to H&R Block or one of the other services. You should be getting your 1095 form, which is proof of insurance. Back when they were charging people if they didn't have insurance. If you didn't have insurance, they would penalize you and charge you. The 1095 was a form that you would receive from your employer, stating that you have insurance. Do you have insurance? Do you not have insurance? You have insurance, proof of insurance. And that way they wouldn't penalize you. Well, they're not penalizing you anymore, but they still want that form when you do your federal income tax. So I had gotten mine in the mail. Just got mine in the mail. And 4 in the house, 5 likes. I take it the Bud Files left. Yes. So, should get your W-2s. I'm retired, so I get one from the state of Texas on my retirement. And then I get one from my employer. The one from my employer, I basically have to download. I get a link to it, and I have to basically download it. So, and then my wife, we file jointly, married filing jointly. She doesn't work, and her insurance is costing me. Her insurance is costing me, and now that we're in January, it rolled over again, so now I've got to meet deductibles. So, yeah. Tax time, you got to pay it by like April the 15th, so you got a couple of months ahead of you. 2.5 months before you have to absolutely pay it unless you want an extension. Yeah. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79. Been watching a lot of those shorts, Uncle Al. You're really overdoing it with the food. Well, so am I. So am I. Oh, Lord. I may do a video in the morning of how I do a pot roast because I bought a pot roast kit today, and I may do a video of that tomorrow. And I let it cook for 8 hours. So I do it in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. We're ready to eat. It's all ready. Yes, indeed. 5 in the house and 7 likes. Little Lone Prepper, hello. Well, God bless you. Yeah. I retired. When did I retire? 2017, I think. Let's see. The daughter graduated in 16. 17, a year after she graduated. I think I retired in 2017. I stayed retired for a year and then I went back to work. How are you doing, Little Lone Prepper? So, I received my Social Security notice in the mail this week. My update. When I turn 65, I qualify for I'll get Medicare. I've been paying into Medicare forever. Now, when you have teacher retirement, you pay into teacher retirement. You do not pay into Social Security. So, in order for me to get Social Security, and we are allowed to get Social Security, they've amended that law. That was a Ross Perot BS way back in the day. You have to have 40 quarters, so that's 10 years. So I got my notification, and it said I need 12 quarters. Now, it didn't count 24. 24 was not included. So I worked all 24, so I actually need 8 quarters. So I need 2 more years from now. I'll get 2 quarters this spring. Next school year, I'll get 4 quarters, and then the year after. So basically, they say I will qualify for full retirement, Social Security, in 2027 because I'll be 67. They really don't want me to retire and start getting Social Security until I'm 67, and then I will get state and the federal Social Security, and then my state insurance, which I have teacher retirement insurance, a Blue Cross through retirement. That will be my secondary, and the Medicare will be my primary, and it'll pay 100% of whatever, because I have my primary, and then I'm paying $200 a month for my secondary, and that has not gone up since I retired. It's been $200 forever that you pay for the state insurance, Blue Cross. 16 months, 21 days. Okay. KP Heathen. The Heathen is in the house. Well, I got Myra's box mailed off today. I told her to look for it Tuesday. Said it should come in Tuesday. And that's buying space. I have not done Devil Dog Prepper's box. I have all the components to do his box. I haven't done his box yet. I did a lot of sleeping today. Opening mail. I could show you mail that I haven't opened. It's like, God, I get lots of mail, lots of stuff from my wife and her insurance, her medical bills, and whatever, you know. And now that it's rolled back around, I'm getting notifications that I owe this and I owe that. And, it's like, God Almighty, it's disgusting. Um, I've thought about doing a one of those. I forget what they call it when you set up a GoFundMe for my wife's medicals, because she's had 4 surgeries in the last less than 8 years. And this last year, I think, with what all happened in the fall, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't $500,000. You know, and the insurance. Oh man, they're paying for they're paying for it. My maximum out of pocket. I was maximum out of pocket in January. It's just like, oh, it hit me hard, hit me really hard. Hello, Myra. As I was telling everybody, I got your box out today, and look for it on Tuesday. It's going ground, 3 days. So I said look for it Tuesday, and I could send you a tracking number. If you have any issues with it. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like I was telling my wife, she was going to give me a heart attack. She was getting on to me about our daughter. And, and I told her, I said, hey, she said, oh, you said you live to be 90. Well, I may live to be 90. There men in my family do. Some of them they don't smoke, they don't drink, they take care of themselves. And, Uncle Lucian was 94. Uncle Howard was a couple of months before 94. He fell and hurt himself. And he was 93 years old, going on 94. My father was 64, but he was a tobacco user. Died of a brain tumor back in the 70s. So, I may live to be 90. Or I may not wake up tomorrow. You never know. Your days are numbered. Up to the Lord. Yeah, 16 months. Hopefully it'll pass quickly. So, talking a little bit about what's going on. The president's out in California meeting with the socialists. They're promising to work with them. They're promising to cut through all their BS regulations to make it possible to try to speed the recovery. And they still got fires going on out there. Hell, there's like 10 or 11 fires going on out there right now. There's still places in danger. I read in an article that Los Angeles, every member of their city council is a Democrat. They're all leftist. The mayor, big leftist. 52, they have 52 congressional seats. 9 of them are Republican. Both of the U.S. senators, are Democrats. I mean, it's a left wing hellhole. From the standpoint of our gasoline is right now. I think gas is high in where I'm at because it was like $2.25. And right now it's $2.69, and when Trump was president before, it was like $1.75. And somebody said that out in California it's over $6 a gallon with all the taxes that they put on it. $6 a gallon, over $6 a gallon for gas. state income tax, city taxes. I mean, they just tax the hell out of you out there. You know, and beautiful, beautiful air. Beautiful state, but it's just gone to the devil. Just gone to the devil. Joseph Moore. Hello, Joseph Moore. How are you doing? How's your beautiful family? So, yes, right now I'm ranting. I'm on a rant. 9 in the house, 11 likes. And I'm sorry if Dave is here, Yoda. I was going to call you today. I didn't call you today. I slept a lot. I was active this morning, this afternoon. I'm tired. I took a nap. Myra, if you'd like to talk, email me your phone number and I will send you a text message and we can text or we can talk. Oh, Yoda's here. Yep. Dave, I apologize. I hadn't called. I slept this afternoon. I did get Myra's box mailed off. And I will be sending you something in the near future. Hey, you don't like that dark roast coffee, or you don't want any more of that dark roast coffee because you're not drinking that now. Is that true? I was going to send you another load of dark roast coffee. Let me know. So right now, Texas has asked the Trump administration for reimbursement for what they spent on border security during the Biden administration. They've spent $11 billion, and it would be nice if the state got it back because that would benefit me. That would benefit me. And they're still running a surplus, even though they're putting out money. They're coordinating now with the federal government on the wall construction. Now that they actually have some supporters in Washington, they're coordinating, and the president has sent military, Army, Marines, National Guard to the border. They're using military flights to deport or haul off return illegals. They're walking them to the crossing points and handing them over to the Mexican government. People are raising hell. They tried to rush the border, and they had sufficient force there to stop them. A bunch of them tried to rush the border. Back in the day, they would have said, "Volley fire," and they would have taken care of those. They put paid to them. Another thing, now they're back to calling them alien criminal illegals. Those who are in here, they're in the United States illegally. Instead of calling them migrants, undocumented migrants, they're back to calling them alien criminal illegals. That's what I understand they're calling them now. And they're conducting raids. They are, and some of the more conservative countries over in Europe are starting to copy. Like Italy, they're deporting the illegal. They're deporting the Muslims that are causing trouble. They took in a lot of Muslims over in Europe. They've been causing trouble, and the ones that have been attacking people and attacking women and doing all the crazy jihadi stuff. They're starting to deport them in large numbers. Good thing. They plan on deporting the population of Gaza to Indonesia. That should take care of the Gazan problem. They said they're going to they're going to remove them, and they'll repatriate them after they rebuild Gaza, because the Israelis basically destroyed Gaza, um, in all the fighting and the bombing and everything. It's going to take a long time to bulldoze that place, but I would return it to the sands. I would return it to the sands, or I would put it into productive. If they can turn it into productive farmland, I'd turn it into productive farmland and leave those people. Nobody wants them. The Egyptians don't want them. The Jordanians don't want them. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants the Gazans. How they're getting Indonesia to take them, I don't know. Maybe they're going to put them on an island out there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm using a 10th generation iPad. When I bought it, it was like 500 and something dollars. Brand new 10th generation iPad. That's what I'm using. So I don't know. And I'm using a reconditioned iPhone 12 to look at the what's being said. 10 in the house, 13 likes. Last night I had 14 people that identified themselves and left comments, or multiple comments, during the live stream. I had 46 views. Now, maybe those were just flip throughs. I don't know. But I had 46 views. Peak concurrents were 10. That seems to be the magic number right now. The sweet spot is about 10. I only got 8 hours and 25 minutes of watch time last night. I like it when I get in excess of 10. Now, back in the days, before my wife's latest, back in September, I was getting 20 hours of watch time. I was having large numbers of people come through, sometimes 300, 350 people coming through my live stream. And I'd get like 20 hours of watch time at the end of my live stream, do a 1 hour live stream. And I'm not doing that now. I'm nowhere near that. Did Susanna Morrison come in? Have I lost weight? I don't think so. Hey, there she is, Susanna Morrison, proud single mother. Beautiful young lady over in the Philippines. And she's got a huge channel. She's got like 30,000 subscribers. I'll be happy if I ever get to 3,000. And right now I'm a little under 2,000. I'm working on it. If you're not subscribed to Susanna, I encourage you to subscribe to her. And she's a beautiful young lady, and she's got a beautiful young daughter. It would take 100 dump trucks working for 3 years to clear the debris. I don't know. I don't know that they're going to be in a big hurry to do it. I don't know that they'll be in a big hurry to do it. Margie TV. Hello, Margie. Two of my friends from over on the other side of the world are here. Now, over where they're at, it's already like, all right, it's just about 7:30 here in the evening. It's like 8:30 in the morning over there. Margie TV, thank you for coming. And Dave, I think it's just because I'm wearing black. I think it's just because I'm wearing a dark color. This is dark blue. I think that's what it is. I haven't lost weight. I'm probably up around 250, which for me that's fatter than I want to be. I'd like to get down to about 220 and stay there. When I graduated from high school, I weighed 180, and I felt good and I looked good. Had a slim waist, none of this dad bod. Uh, but I'm past 60 now. I was I was at school. We're sitting there with my students. I've only got 4 students. 3 of them are full timers. One of them goes out to most of the classes. But my paraprofessionals were there. They're grown adults. One of them's like lady's about 40 years old. The other one's like 25, about the same age as my daughter. And they're talking about, well, how old do you think I look, and how old do you think I looked, and everything. And you know, one of my kids, 12-year-old girl. Well, Mr. Lynn, if I did not know, I would say you're probably in your mid 50s. But I know you're 61 or 62 because you told us that before. Smart girl for 12 years old. I mean, she might have some issues, but very very intelligent young lady and very well spoken. And you know, I guess I could pass myself off as 55, but I'm 62. Now I don't want to try to pass myself off as 70, but and I've had people tell me they thought I was 70, you know. So I don't know if that's an insult or not. But being bald and being white haired, I mean, I guess I fit the bill for somebody who's old. I'm not ancient, and I guess I don't look ancient, but I do look, I'm reaching the retirement age. You're still a baby. Well, they're going to go through, they've got tunnels. They got all those big buildings that they got basements. I mean, they're going to have to do a lot to clean all that up. They're going to have to do a lot of demolition. It's not going to be, they're not going to do it fast. And see, there's still about 25% of that militia group this over in the last part that they haven't went into yet. So it's still about 25% of them. And they're trying to do whatever they can to keep them from going and clean them out. And the Jews want to clean them out. And now that Trump is president, he'll let them. And they're raising hell about how they're slow walking releasing the prisoners. They released like 4 young female Israeli soldiers this weekend. They released 4 young Israeli female soldiers, and they had released 3 or 4 people earlier in the week. They're slow releasing. Oh, and then in exchange, the Israelis are releasing hundreds of people that they've detained. It's like almost like 100 to 1. Uh, I don't know. It would be cruel to just write those people off, but I would just go through. What I would do would be biblical. The way they used to handle it in the old days. In the Old Testament, they say don't let a man, woman, or child live, and just go through and just clean them out because they're just a pestilence. I'm sorry, judge not lest you be judged, but I mean those people are just nobody wants them. They're a pestilence, and they can't be happy with they get a decent living going, and then they're terrorists, which are a large number of them, screw everything up. You would think that the ones that don't want trouble would deal with their own terrorists. Deal with your own criminals. They don't deal with their own criminals. The criminals run things over there. Just finished off a 10-ounce cup of Folgers with French vanilla creamer. And I'm sorry. Scriptures say, "Judge not, lest you be judged." But you know, the poor will always be with you. Um, there will always be suffering. Um, I have nothing against good people, whoever you are, your skin color, your nationality, whatever. Like when we go to war with somebody, we're not, like if we were to go to war with Russia, we're not going to war against the Russian people. We're going to war against a small, old, Putin, I think, is about 70 right now. We would be going to war against a bunch of, you know, oligarchs, the small number of oligarchs making the decisions. And then the young people have got to go fight the war, you know. Um, just the leadership. If the United States went to war and Congress declared war, you got like 535 people in Congress, 100 in the Senate, 435 in the House. So it would be fewer than 1,000 people would declare a war in the United States. About 600 people would be involved in declaring a war. And then, our couple of million soldiers, military, would have to go fight it. And I doubt that would happen unless somebody attacks us. Like if, China, you know, they keep talking about NATO sending troops to Ukraine. Well, that'd be the best way to get in a war with Russia, because Russia would be stupid enough to start fighting NATO, and they couldn't fight NATO. So then the idiot would try to use nukes and hit some sites, in which case NATO would certainly hit some of their sites, and then you'd have millions of people dying because of a few idiots, the decisions of a few idiots. I mean, think about that. That's why it's very important. Um, yeah, old men talking, young men dying. And I tell you what, uh, none of this is worth one of our children. You put me in the position, and I'm in a leadership position, and I basically would just bomb them. Like when Trump talks about just bombing them, I would just bomb them. My Air Force would fight the war. We might lose a few people if they get a few of our planes, but I would just go over and I just bomb them. When we went into, and this is 20 years ago, so our technology has improved since then. When we went in and we went into Iraq, and Iraq had a pretty good size, back during the original Gulf War, and Iraq had a pretty good size, their Republican guards and everything, they had bunkers. We went in and we bunker busted. We went in and we just killed hundreds of thousands of their troops. Just bombed the mess out of them. Cluster bombs, daisy cutters. Just went in and just bombed them. When they were trying to evacuate Kuwait, we went at their columns. We just went in and we just destroyed their columns. They were running, just running, trying to get out of there. And we just went in and we just, and then we stopped and we did not go into, we did not invade Iraq at that time. But then, 10 years later, 12 years later, we went in and we invaded Iraq. Bush the Younger did. Hello, Mama, 4 boys. Well, I went for about 45 seconds without saying anything, so if you lost my audio, it's because maybe I wasn't talking. 9 in the house, 15 likes. So they are in the process of trying to drain the swamp. One of the first things that, and they had months and months to plan all this stuff. They had months and months to put all the documentation together, just waiting to pull it, just waiting to pull the plug. Just waiting for all those signatures and all those executive actions. And they were meeting and planning on what they were going to do as soon as the new Congress, and they had the majority in both houses. Now, in the representatives, they're very tight. They have very, very little they can spare in the representatives. In the Senate, well, they have some rhinos. They have 53 seats, but they got some rhinos. The senator in Alaska, Murkowski, she took her father's seat. That's a big rhino. I think she voted for the impeachment or she was in favor. She went against Trump in the previous, And then you've got that one up in Maine. The woman up in Maine. You got some of them out, but you still got 3 or 4 of them. Like Joni Ernst, they were threatening to primary her, and she came around. I hear complaints about her. And then McConnell's still there. They're going to get rid of McConnell. McConnell's like past 80. He's already at the point where he has brain freezes and basically stands there with his mouth wide open, like that Mayor Bass did out in Los Angeles when she got off the plane and the press was waiting for her, and she's standing there, wide-eyed and mouth open, couldn't say anything, asking questions. Communist or Democrat, whatever you want to call her. The most reasonable Democrat right now in the Senate is that Fetterman in Pennsylvania, the one that had the stroke. You could hear them talking about him when he went to the inauguration. Shorts. He had on gym shorts and a hoodie. That's what he wore to the inauguration. And they were talking about, he's not dressed appropriately, is he? And he's the most reasonable one they got. They keep talking about that he may start voting Republican, or he votes with Republicans some. He's one that will work with them. Yeah. That's where we're at. Well, 11 watching, 15 likes. Oh, I don't know. I see the 15 likes. I got 9 watching. People come, people go. Lady Sky. How are you doing? Thank you for coming, Lady Sky. My conscience keeps telling me to be careful. Mike Crusher Reviews. Mike. I keep saying I'm gonna go over and check to see if he's put anything out because I get so many notifications. It's not funny, and they just roll past. But my go-to guy for ration reviews. I keep threatening to open up a case of rations and start reviewing them. Oh man! Thank you for coming in, Mike. Appreciate you. 10 in the house, 16 likes. Okay. Yeah, I was saying I'm gonna do another news, which I hadn't done. I was gonna get Devil Dog Prepper's box done. I hadn't got that done. Um, I keep talking about. I'm gonna pull out, one of my little stoves and show people how to heat water. I'll do a little demonstration of that. It's been a while since I've done that. They keep asking about how to boil water. You can't burn water. There's a lot of fire under it. Yesterday, I think it was, Dave said, "What do you do with the first 6 hours of SHTF?" And the first thing is don't panic. Don't panic. If you're not with your family, get with your family. You know, you got kids, secure your kids. If you practice preparedness, you should have most of your basics. You know, people will be freaking out and people will be panic buying. There'll be a run on bottled water, there'll be a run on milk, there'll be a run on bread, there'll be a run on toilet paper, you know, there'll be a run propane. People will be panic buying. In an emergency. You will have more wrecks. Got to watch out because people drive like nuts as it is. People will be running lights. Um, the criminal motto is, in confusion there is profit. So the criminals will be out and about. There will be looting. That's just like out in California now where they're setting those fires. You have people setting fires. Homeless people setting fires. You know. Just don't lose your head. Have a plan. Look to your security. Is your property secure? Do you have a means to defend yourself? You better have. You know. And I'm saying I'd have more than a baseball bat and some pepper spray. You've heard of the Second Amendment? If you're in Texas, Texas is a carry state. You don't have to have a permit to carry in Texas. Concealed, open, whatever. Now you can get a concealed carry permit. You can get a carry permit. And they still issue them. I guess it would make the law enforcement feel a little bit better when they approach you when you say you're armed. But, you know. I have a couple of new style US MREs I need to check out. I look forward to it. Where do generals keep their Arby's? Oh, Lord. Did you see where they're starting to sack the DEI hires? That female 4-star admiral over the Coast Guard. She's very proud of all of her diversity and inclusion. Um, and they did a commander of something, and they did there were three of the naval people that they sacked. Two of them were Navy, and one of them was Coast Guard. They sacked a captain, they sacked a commander, and they sacked an admiral. And I expect you're going to see Hegseth sacking a bunch of people at the Pentagon. He got approved today by a 50-50 vote, or last night, 50-50 vote, and the vice president had to do the deciding vote. He had all 47 Democrats against him, and he had three of the rhinos. He had McConnell, who hopefully he'll be by the wayside sooner or later because of his, he's about as bad as Biden. Murkowski and Susan Collins of Maine. So I'm hoping when he exits stage left that the governor will put somebody in that's conservative. And then I'm sure they're going to try to primary Collins, but Collins is in a fairly liberal state. She could be considered a conservative Democrat. Murkowski's just, I don't know. They did some voodoo out there that basically just about guarantees she's going to get elected when she runs, the way that they do the voting. Discriminating against people because of their belly buttons. Well, I'm sorry you had the flu. I've had the flu. It's not fun. I took that, what is it, Theraflu or whatever. They prescribe it. You got like a 4-day supply of it. 10 in the house, 17 likes. So if I really, I didn't do shout outs. I need to do shout outs. I need to do a news video. I need to do Devil Dog Prepper's box. I haven't seen him in here this evening. He's been sporadic lately, his visitations. And I hadn't visited him. Some of these people have not seen them. Well, no, I two of them were Navy. One of them's a captain. One of them's a commander. One of them was a black captain. The other one was a female commander. And then that head of the Coast Guard's like a 4-star admiral lady. Very big DEI. She's very proud of the DEI. And they got rid of her first. Didn't have anything to do with their belly button, but you got a sense of humor. I didn't catch that. I was like, where'd that come from? I was thinking about that. Where'd that come from? I'm glad you clarified. So, the idea being, if you anticipate down the road that there's going to be a problem, like if we get into it with China over Taiwan, the Philippines, some of their, if we get into it with them, Japan, there will be chaos here. For one, I would anticipate they've snuck in a lot of people that can very easily acquire arms, or they snuck in arms with them. you know, that basically have orders to cause trouble. They can do electronic warfare stuff, you know, hacking. Um, a war, you know, that right now they could basically shut down the Panama Canal the way that things are down there right now. It's one of the things that Trump wants to get straightened out is he wants to resecure the canal. Uh, I'm going to predict that we will do something to secure the canal, that we will have Greenland. We will acquire Greenland. It's in their best interest. I don't know how much it's going to cost us. Like right now, Denmark basically subsidizes Greenland to the tune of about a third of their living. They're they have a population fewer than 60,000, and they really would like to be independent. Supposedly, they can have an election in April and they can vote for independence, and then basically they can negotiate a good deal with us. I mean, we're already there. We already have a huge base there. I think they call it Thule. Thule. Um, they're you know, Trump, drill baby drill, and he's threatening tariffs right now. I think February the 1st. Tariffs over Canada, tariffs 25% tariff in Canada, 25% tariff on Mexico, tariff in China. He shut down. He stopped all uh, donations to other countries for 90 days until he researches it. Shut down entries. They're firing some of these judges that they hired to basically just hear migrants pleas. You know, they plea for asylum. They're firing some of those judges. Idaho Garden Girl, hello, and Linda Powers, welcome, ladies. How you doing, Stephanie? Nine in the house, 17 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. I've had a handyman here helping to get my greenhouse operational. Well, wonderful. I bring in kids sometimes. Get the young folks. I can't do what I used to do. I don't want to do what I used to do. Repairs, I understand. I hear you. I hear you. Well, I'm at 1815. When I get to 1900, and mind you, I went through a significant purge. I went from at one point, I was at 1840 and went down to 1795, basically being purged over a period of about 10 days. And now I'm back up from 1795 to 1815, so I got about 20 of them back. When I get to 1900 at some point, I'll get to 1900, I will be doing a 1900 subscriber giveaway. In order to qualify for my 1900 subscriber giveaway, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of my last 5 videos that I will have reached or done when I hit 1900. So I'll look at the last video I'd done, write down a list of all the names, and then I'll start going back 4 more videos and checking off who's there. Are you there? And this last one, I think I had about 14 people that were qualified. 14 or 15. And Lady Dark Gaming was the winner. Yeah, I'm 7 o'clock Central. 7 o'clock Central Time in the Republic of Texas. Well, Trump did an executive order, which they're already appealing it, or they filed a case in court, and it'll be a Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship. So, every other country, in order for you to be the citizen of that country, you're born abroad. If your parents are citizens, you will be a citizen of the country that they're citizens of. So the way it should be, and the way it's written, they talk about the 14th Amendment. Well, there's a little portion of the sentence in there with a couple of commas. Oh. 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. But the key is, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That was intended for black folks. After the war, they freed the slaves. 13th Amendment, 1863, after the Battle of Gettysburg, freed the slaves. The 14th Amendment was basically to give them citizenship. So, the idea being, back in the days, if you were a diplomat or you were somebody that was the agent of a foreign country and you came to the United States and your wife got pregnant, or your wife was pregnant and she had a child gave birth in the United States, that child was still a citizen of whatever country you came from. So that birthright, we're the only country that interprets that as birthright is that if you're born here. So, yeah, a Mexican woman or somebody from a foreign country comes over and is pregnant, and then the baby, she's 9 months pregnant, and she gives birth on just this side of the border. Oh, well, my child's a United States citizen. No. Where are you from? Venezuela? Well, your child's a Venezuelan citizen. You're a Venezuelan citizen, your child's a Venezuelan citizen. If you're not a citizen, your child is not a citizen. And that's what the executive order basically says. And they have filed, I think the ACLU or somebody, there's like 22 states right now that have filed against Trump on, and those are the ones that, the blue states, 22 blue states. They all got together, So, and I used to give these out. I put these in boxes. Sometimes I would put these in boxes. And this is the Constitution of the United States. Bill of Rights. I may start giving these out again. They have Chinese tourist trips for pregnant ladies to come over here and give birth, then go back home with their child who is an American citizen. They will try to stop everything he does, just like the last time. Well, the other thing about Drain the Swamp is they got to start going after these people. They need to declare, I'm sure we'll get around to it. If somebody has connections, tell them to declare Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization, Antifa a terrorist organization. I would outlaw the American Civil Liberties Union. I mean, they're up to no good. SD Mountain Man, howdy, sir. I've been meaning to come over and visit and give you some love. And while I'm at it, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, Scott. Appreciate you. 17 likes, 8 in the house. We need to halt all immigration. Got 10, 15 years. Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm hearing talk, honestly, and I always thought this would happen eventually. Canada would be it would be, the United States of North America. Canada would be part of the United States. They have a population of about 41, 42 million. Their states would basically join as states. It wouldn't be just one state. I don't see Greenland coming in as a state. It'll come in as a territory, and then it will be attached to something else. Do I think we should keep skilled foreign labor? I think that should be on an individual basis, a determination. After the war, we brought a lot of ex-Nazis over. That's where our space program, basically, von Braun and his crew, the ones that basically had developed the V rockets, we brought in a bunch of people. I mean, the nuclear project, the Manhattan Project, if you want to call it. We had foreign people involved with that. I'm not against foreign people. I mean, we're a nation of foreign people. But I'm looking at who we should allow in, and do they pay for themselves? Are they paying their bills? Or are they getting support from us? Are their kids getting, all the supports and everything? Does the wall clock run backwards? It's 8:03. I think it's 8:03. It says 8:03. Maybe you're seeing me backwards, like mirror image. I'm thinking. Everything's got to be on an individual. You can't just blanket. You just can't blanket. Everything's got to be on an individual basis. decisions that are made. Am I right-handed? Technically, I'm what you'd call ambidextrous. I think what happened was because I I have a parochial prep school education, Catholic education. Statistically, about 90% of people are right-handed. About 1 in 10 are left-handed. I think what happened with me is I think I probably was left-handed, and they basically decided to correct that, and they taught me to use my right hand. So I can throw a ball. I have strength to I can pitch a ball or a football or a baseball. I can use either hand, sort of ambidextrous. I can write with my left hand, very messy. But I use my right hand, so I guess you'd say I'm right-handed. But I consider myself ambidextrous, and I think that's because I probably was left-handed, but they taught me right hand. The nuns. Well, you may be. I was raised Catholic because my mother's family's Catholic, my father's family is Southern Baptist. So, as an adult, I basically have adopted my father's faith or denomination, and as a child, I was raised a Catholic, and so best of both worlds. I know where all the skeletons are buried in the church because I studied church history and have a degree in history. Um, but say what you want, you get an excellent, you get the best education in the world. They teach you. I learned a metric system. The U.S. uses. We don't really use metric. Now we're trying to teach the kids metric. I mean, we're not even teaching them multiplication facts. They can't do basic operations without a calculator, and they're wanting to teach them advanced mathematics. Well, they got calculators. Well, what about doing it pencil paper? They're not even wanting to teach, cursive anymore. And when I was a kid, 12 times 12 is 144. Was none of this 9 times 9 business. 9 times 9 is 81. But you study and you learn your multiplication facts to 12 times 12. Now, one thing I will say about the nuns, most of them were from Ireland. Same thing with the priests. Most of them from Ireland. And they use the English spelling. So they're always on you to misspell words. So COLOR, color, well, it's got to be COLOUR. They're always wanting to teach you how to misspell words, and that's just the English spelling's a little different. But I went through that. Well, I learned USN metric. Milli, centi, deca, hecto, kilo, meters, liters, grams. A kilogram is 2.2 pounds. A meter is 40 inches. A kilometer is like 0.59. I think it's like 0.59 of a mile, 5,280 feet. And it is what it is. I am a creature of habit. I was taught. I grew up. I would have been basically what you call, if I had been born when I should have been born, I should have been born a baby boomer from the very start, like right after the war. My parents were married before my father was drafted. He served 3 years from 43 to 46. My uncle served 43 to 46. They both went in. They both were 30-ish at the time. So they very, very quickly made them sergeants. My father was offered a field commission if he'd stay in. After the Germans surrendered, if he would stay in, they offered him a field commission. He would go to the Pacific Front, and he said no. And he said he wished he'd have known they were going to use the atomic bomb, and he would have said yes, because that would have benefited him even more if, to accept a field commission, be a 33, 34-year-old second lieutenant or first lieutenant or whatever they would have made him. Thank you for coming in, Linda. Good night. Thank you, Linda Powers. God bless you. Left-handed and visit places like India, Pakistan. Well, okay. So the other thing is, if you're left-handed over there, and like the Muslims, you clean yourself with your left hand. Left hand's for dirty things. You don't eat with your left hand. That's, yeah. Yeah, you use your right hand because you wipe yourself with your left hand. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. I hear you. You learn all sorts of stuff. Oh, you can learn to do stuff with your right hand. It's what comes natural to you. What comes natural. You train yourself. Food, forest, permaculture. Hello, Howie. Welcome. Well, like, I teach my kids at school, you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands. Before you eat, you wash your hands. I use sanitary, if I go do number two, I'll use sanitary wipes. I'll use a couple of I buy lots of these, which I keep with me. I got lots of the big packs too. Flushables. Yeah, practices. You got to practice things. I teach my kids. I taught my kids. I teach my students. And practice what you preach. Lead by example. None of this do as I say, not as I do business. I don't know that the politicians would want to start wars if their kids were the ones that are going to go fight it. I think about that. And they talk about the draft. Well, patriotism. people are patriotic. They're not patriotic if you got a socialist in the White House. They don't want to. They don't want to serve. Look at all those people. That 8,000. They put 8,000 people out of the military, different branches, because they would not take the COVID shot. Now Trump has said they're going to receive back pay and an offer to come back in. They're going to evaluate them because some of them have been out for a while and they probably got out of shape like me. It's like you have to be in pretty good condition to be in the military. And some of them, got out and they let themselves go to sea. It's like, well, they might not go back in, but they're going to offer to compensate them for what they did. I hear you, Howie. Yeah, welfare fraud. That's good. Yeah, they've got to do something other. Doge is going to do that. Elon Musk. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. My leather jacket fell off the back of my chair. I got to put that back up. Um, just got a thank you from Uncle Al. I guess he's looking at my comments. Seven in the house. 16 likes. Please, if you would like to support the channel, be greatly appreciated. So, today's Saturday. This is actually the 7th day of the week. Did you know that? The 8th, Sunday is considered the 8th day or the first day of the week. Sunday was the day that the pagans, that was their worship day. Their holy day was Sunday. Saturday is the Sabbath. The first 300 years of Christianity, the Sabbath was the Sabbath. They didn't change the Sabbath to Sunday until the 4th century when Christianity became legal. It was an illegal religion for its first 300 years, and it was a minority religion for its first 300 years. Constantine was the one that legalized it, and his mother was a Christian. And he had a deathbed conversion, and he saw a cross, by the sign you'll conquer, and he reunited the Roman Empire, and then he basically got all the church fathers together, the big church fathers together, and had a big convocation in Rome to hammer out a lot of the bases of the faith. God will bless you for that, Howie. God will bless you for that. So I will plan on being back tomorrow, 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee. You never know. Something might come up, but I don't. I'm going to try to get out another news at some point in time, another little 4 or 5 minute news segment. I'm going to try to get another box together for Devil Dog Prepper. I got all the stuff for it. I'll try to get shout outs done. I'll try to put out some shout outs. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at my shorts, if you haven't clicked the notification bell, please click the notification bell. I think most of you have because you come on here, you get notifications I'm on. When I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. You're not going to know it if you don't wake up. I take my medication. I got to reload my pill caddy. I say the Lord's Prayer. Drink my coffee with my medication. Contemplate the day. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Thank first responders, law enforcement. They're not doing it to get rich. Be kind to elderly people. Be kind to children. Make people feel good. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And everybody, please have a blessed day. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye. God bless.